CBS 6 News at noon starts now.
The Virginia Department of Health says there is a measles outbreak in Buckingham County. This is the CBS 6 News at noon. I'm Cheryl Miller. As of yesterday, May 13th, the state health department says it has identified 12 outbreak-associated measles cases in that area. None of the patients say they have traveled recently, which health officials say could mean local transmission of the virus. They also say there are likely more measles cases that have not been reported yet. Symptoms of the measles include fever and a rash with red spots and raised bumps. If you suspect you have the measles, isolate yourself immediately, according to officials. You should also notify your local health department so you can be tested and they can investigate. Health officials encourage adults and children to get the MMR vaccine for the very best protection against the measles. In Henrico, police are warning drivers about a utility issue on Staples Mill Road. That issue began this morning in the 8100 block of Staples Mill. Currently, 2 westbound lanes of that road remain closed between Wistar and Hermitage Roads. You should allow extra travel time if you're in the area, or they say find an alternate route. No word on how long it will take for the situation to be corrected and cleared. In Richmond, look at that. That's a bear. It's been spotted in the Maymont neighborhood. This is video taken about an hour ago by our CBS 6 photojournalist Chris Jenkins, who also noted that police and fire crews are on scene. Richmond Animal Care and Control says they're tracking the bear and have notified the Department of Wildlife Resources. We'll update you as we learn more about this developing situation. A warning that you may find the details of this next story to be disturbing. A Nottoway County woman is living in fear after she says 2 dogs killed her dog and trapped her outside her home. Now she wants to know why more is not being done to keep her neighborhood safe from situations like this. Our Caroline Colburn details her story and the response from animal control.
It's been a heartbreaking week for Nottoway native Jessica Gray, as she says she came home from work last Thursday to find 2 dogs standing over her 4-year-old beloved German Shorthair Pointer's body.
And then I went to go check on Pearl, see if, how she was. And then that's when the dogs charged at me. And then the dogs left, and then I went to go look at Pearl, and she was gone.
Gray says while she waited for the dogs to leave, she called 911, but says it took over 2 hours for an animal control officer to come to her house. Now, when animal control arrived, they told her they'd located the 2 dogs and that their owner had confined them. Gray says she then asked if the owner had been charged with breaking the county's 2-month dog confinement period, and she says she was told they could charge the owner if she wanted them to, but that the dogs could not be euthanized because Gray did not actually witness the attack. Gray says she also asked the county to file a dangerous dog designation for those 2 dogs, which would require them to be confined year-round and the owner to have special signage and liability insurance, but that was also denied.
And I am scared that it could possibly hurt a child or an elderly person. And is that when it's going to be taken seriously? When something bad like that happens? Because there's no excuse for it. And it shouldn't be happening. This has been a living nightmare.
I talked to Nottoway County Animal Control Officer Sheila Estes, who says the dog's owner has been charged with breaking the 2-month county confinement period, as well as not having proper dog tags. But she says the dangerous dog designation was denied by the magistrate because, again, Gray didn't actually witness the attack. Meanwhile, as for Gray, she's had Pearl cremated, and she's hoping to raise awareness so that this does not happen to any other pet owner. I'm Caroline Colburn, CBS 6 News.
Richmond Public Schools may stop using its buildings as polling places. School board members say voting disrupts learning and creates childcare issues for parents when schools have to be closed for election days. Our Brendan King has more on the potential change and how families will be able to give their input.
The topic was first discussed at the work session on Monday. 2nd District Board Member Catherine Ricard brought up the issue after she says she heard questions from parents following the most recent special election. But first, I want you to listen to one board member talking about how the closures for these elections impact his family.
It is really disorienting as an RPS parent to suddenly be like, oh crap, another election, now a special election. Who's working, who's not working, who has meetings of the day, who can take the kids wherever. It's a lot to balance.
Right now, 26 out of the city's 72 polling locations are Richmond school facilities. 24 have classroom instruction. When schools are closed for elections, Superintendent Jason Cameron says they have a virtual day instead. One member argued closing schools encourages parents to bring their children to the voting booth and learn more about elections. The board says they would like to eventually survey parents before voting on the matter and then make the request to City Council, where the registrar would have to find alternate polling sites like community centers or churches.
The elections office is required by law to send out written notification to update every voter of the change in polling location, which is obviously a very significant administrative task that they would also need to complete.
No vote, no decision was made on Monday, and the board says they'll take up the issue again following the November election in the fall or winter. But this is important. They say there'll likely be no changes for at least the next 2 years. In Richmond, I'm Brendan King, CBS 6 News.
All right, well, good afternoon to you. We've been in and out of some clouds throughout the day today, and we do expect ultimately for the clouds to kind of win out here, but partly to mostly cloudy skies in the area. We had a cold front move through overnight and into this morning. We had some nice rain showers overnight and into this morning as well. So today, partly cloudy and then mostly cloudy, a bit cooler today, a bit on the breezy side, mid to upper 60s for daytime high temperatures. Sunshine comes back for us tomorrow in a big way. We'll have a nice day tomorrow, highs back into the mid 70s, and still expecting some heat for the weekend, mid 80s and some 90s potentially as we get into Sunday. So today's a bit of a transition day. Still could have a stray shower or a sprinkle here and there. Most folks now well into the 60s here this afternoon, and we'll look for highs just about 66. Some of you may hit the upper 60s today, partly to mostly cloudy. A stray sprinkle yet still possible. We'll talk about the heat coming our way in just a few minutes. Back to you.
New here at noon, some seniors in Hanover County gathered this morning to celebrate active living. The Finding Value in Your Prime event was held at Fairmont Christian Church. It offered presentations on active lifestyles, health, and happiness. There were also resource giveaways, games with door prizes, along with breakfast and boxed lunches. Anthony Keat is president of the Ashland Hanover Triad, which works to protect seniors by connecting with community partners and law enforcement. He says the aim is to help Hanover's elder residents live their best and safest lives.
We have more than 100 people who've come. We have close to 40 vendors, and this is just one of the best events that Hanover County provides. And so I'm just so glad that we can do this. I'm glad that this church, Fairmont Christian Church, has opened their doors to us. They've done it year after year.
The event also collected non-perishable food donations to benefit a local food pantry. A Glen Allen man who lost his wife to Alzheimer's is hoping to honor her memory and raise awareness about the devastating impact of this disease through a charity golf tournament tomorrow. Larry Barron says his wife Bobby Jo was just 68 years old when she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's and passed away 6 years later. Tomorrow, he's turning his pain into purpose and hosting the 6th annual Fighting Against Dementia golf tournament at Hanover Golf Club. Since starting this event in 2020, Larry has raised more than $42,000 to support local Alzheimer's care, family support programs, and research.
So I got into a group, support group, and it was tremendously beneficial. If anyone is dealing with any of the diseases of dementia, I strongly recommend, getting a support group, because it makes sure you're not alone. You're not the only one dealing with this.
That tournament kicks off at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and it's not too late to sign up or make a donation. You can email fightingdementia@gmail.com to get more information. This year's Dominion Energy River Rock begins tomorrow with new competition and demonstration locations expanding across Tredegar Street. From tunes to trail running, bikes to bouldering, and pups to paddling, it's all happening in downtown Richmond. CBS 6 traffic reporter Kristen Lors breaks down how this 3-day event will impact roads this weekend.
Good Thursday afternoon to you. Well, we are talking about what's happening this weekend. Dominion Energy River Rock for all you outdoor sports lovers. It's at Richmond's riverfront, and there is an event this evening at 6 p.m. Otherwise, the event will be kicking off tomorrow and last all weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Here's what you need to know as far as road closures, no parking zones that will be out there and posted, so make sure you're paying attention to all of the signs. A portion of Tredegar Street closed down towards 10th Street. This portion of 5th Street will be marked off, and the same thing for Bragg Street between 5th Street and 7th Street. If you're looking for parking options, there will be parking decks available. The RMA parking deck at 9th, 10th, Bird, and Canal Streets. We'll also have the Riverside on the James deck at 10th and Tredegar Streets, and then the Federal Reserve parking deck located at 5th, 7th, Bird, and Bragg. Surface parking lots will be available as well for a small fee, and street parking is available. You can take advantage of the bike parking at 5th and Tredegar. Just make sure that you are bringing your own lock to secure your bike. I'm Kristen Lure, CBS 6 Traffic.
The White House is calling President Trump's talks in Beijing a success. Trump and President Xi Jinping of China are finding common ground on Iran, but the Chinese leader is also warning about Taiwan. Ahead, what's at stake for U.S. relations?
You're watching CBS 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
President Trump is in Beijing for high-stakes talks with the president of China. The White House calling the meeting a success, but Chinese state media says China's president, Xi Jinping, issued a strict warning about Taiwan. Scripps News Group's chief Washington correspondent Joe St. George has the very latest developments.
White House officials describing the meeting between President Xi Jinping and President Trump as, quote, good, with multiple areas of agreement related to the Iran war. The White House saying that China and the United States agree that Iran should not have a nuclear weapon and that the Strait of Hormuz should remain open to allow for the free flow of oil out of the Middle East. But Chinese leaders are warning that there is a big difference between the U.S. and China on one area of policy in particular, Taiwan. An American president meeting the leader of China in person on Chinese soil. The first such gathering since President Trump last did it in 2017. China rolling out the red carpet for President Trump with an elaborate welcome ceremony ahead of in-person talks.
It's great. You can talk about Taiwan, great place. Incredible. China's beautiful.
Inside, during a meeting that lasted around 2 hours, much more formal discussions on the biggest issues of our time, with a look toward areas where the U.S. and China may find agreement.
We've had a fantastic relationship. We've gotten along. When there were difficulties, we worked it out. I would call you, and you would call me, and whenever we had a problem, you're a great leader. I say it to everybody, you're a great leader. Sometimes people don't like me saying it, but I say it anyway because it's true.
Can we, in the interests of the well-being of our two peoples and the future of humanity, build a brighter future together for our bilateral relations? These are the questions vital to history, to the world, and to the people.
Already, President Xi bringing up the issue of Taiwan. Taiwan is self-ruled, but China believes it is their province. The U.S. has given billions to Taiwan's military in recent years, despite officially not supporting Taiwan's independence, and amid strategic ambiguity as to how the U.S. might respond if it was ever invaded by China. According to a Chinese government spokesman, President Xi stressed to President Trump that the Taiwan question is the most important issue in China-U.S. relations. If it is handled properly, the bilateral relationship will enjoy overall stability. Otherwise, the two countries will have clashes and even conflicts, putting the entire relationship in great jeopardy. Other issues like trade and the Iran war are dominating discussions between the two leaders as well, with all eyes on what may or may not be announced before President Trump's departure. Joe St. George, Scripps News Group, Washington.
All right, taking a look at today's data, the average is 77. Going to be a cool day today. The record 94. I'll tell you what, though, we do have some 90s returning in the 7-day forecast. We'll talk about that coming up in just a few minutes.
CBS 6 Sky Tracker is sponsored by Window World.
All right, good afternoon. I'd like to revisit the rain from last night into early this morning because it wasn't bad for many areas, and it happened overnight, so it got to sink into the ground. And I know a lot of you didn't get a whole lot of rain, but some of you got a decent amount, mainly around town here, the metro area, and parts of Chesterfield County. You go out toward the airport, about 3 to 4 tenths there, about 2 tenths down around Colonial Heights, Chester area, Petersburg, and about 2, maybe even a little bit more, Midlothian, Bon Air, and a bit more off to the west and up to the north around Mechanicsville got some decent rain, and the northern neck as well, some decent numbers, anywhere from a couple of tenths to maybe a half inch or more in some of those areas. And you guys held on to the rain a bit longer through the early morning hours today as well, so that was kind of a good thing for you. All right, let's talk about what's happening. We had this cold front slide through into early this morning. Now it is well offshore, kind of took the showers with it offshore as well. An area of low pressure still keeping things a little unsettled up toward the St. Lawrence Seaway and parts of New England up there. But for us, ultimately, the dry air is going to win out, even though we'll see still a good mix of clouds coming in here through these later afternoon hours. Cool temperatures or cool air kind of moving in at the upper levels of the atmosphere, kind of keeping us in and out of some of those clouds here. But ultimately, high pressure is going to win out, and we'll clear it out completely overnight tonight, and things will kind of dry out for us, and we'll have lots of sunshine during the day tomorrow. So just a bit cool, a bit on the breezy side today as well. Highs into the mid and upper 60s. And then as we go into the next couple of days, we'll start to see a nice warm up. So today's forecast, we'll look for partly, then mostly cloudy skies again, a sprinkle, a shower possible, few and far between, but just with that cold air kind of settling in aloft this afternoon. It's possible, that's all I'll say. We'll look for highs into the mid-60s. And then tonight, ultimately, we clear it out. Drier air will take hold. We'll drop back to about 48 overnight tonight, so kind of a chilly morning for us tomorrow. So a couple little spots here and there on the radar. Otherwise, a good deal of clouds mixed with a little sun. And then, as I mentioned, ultimately, we'll clear it out tonight. And tomorrow morning, we'll have mostly sunny skies. More clouds up to the northern neck in those areas tomorrow. And then we'll have a partly cloudy midday and afternoon Friday. But it's going to be warmer. Kind of the same deal on Saturday, a mix of sun and clouds, and temperatures on Saturday are going to be warmer as well, but we're looking nice and dry for a good part of the weekend here, if not most of it. So tomorrow we'll get back into the mid-70s, and then Saturday the warm-up really begins. We're talking mid-80s, about 86 for a high on Saturday. So 60s, 70s, 80s, and then we get into these 90s by Sunday, about 90 degrees, low 90s, potentially right through the middle of next week. A stray shower or storm possible later Sunday into Monday. A little better chance we'll arrive by the middle of next week. We'll get some 60s this night as well. So a big warming trend coming up this weekend. Back to you in the studio.
Still to come, celebrate America's 250th birthday by learning some local history. History and Hops is happening this weekend in Hanover County. The entertainers and historical reenactors scheduled to perform all new next here at noon.
Doppler Max 6 is sponsored by the law firm of Allen & Allen. The injury attorneys of Allen & Allen are here to fight for compensation for your injuries. Visit allenandallen.com.
Finally, and new here at noon, Hanover County is celebrating America's 250th birthday this year with History and Hops this weekend. The event will feature entertainers and historical reenactors, including the 7th Virginia Regiment, doorway singers, and a recreation of Patrick Henry's Liberty or Death speech. There'll also be activities and interactive displays highlighting the history that shaped that area over 2 centuries ago. Proceeds from food and drink vendors will benefit the Hanover Crew Foundation. They support injured Hanover emergency responders. With free admission, History and Hops is this Saturday from 2 to 6 at the historic Hanover Courthouse Green. Thanks so much for joining us here for the CBS 6 News at noon. We'll see you back here at 4. In the meantime, have a great rest of your Thursday afternoon.